Armaf. Seriously, what the hell? Hey guys, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman, and it's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And today's video is going to be about two of the brand new releases from Armaf, called the Lions Club Monarch and the Lions Club Feroce. As you would expect from something that comes out of the brand of Armaf, both fragrances are actually clones. There is a third member in this line that comes in a slightly different colored bottle, which I don't yet have in my collection, but as soon as I'm able to get my hands on a bottle of that one, I'm going to cover it in a future video. But today let's concentrate on these two, the Monarch one and the Feroce one. And I'm going to start with this green one, which is called Feroce. And in case you're wondering why I started the video with this phrase, Armaf, seriously, what the hell? Well, it's all about the packaging, or to be more specific, about the bottle design. Firstly, let's take a very quick look at the packaging. The packaging of both fragrances is actually very nice. When you get the box, there's an outer sleeve that contains some of the information, the name of the fragrance, the line of the fragrances. On the back you get some additional information. You get the bottle size, which is 100 milliliters, the concentration, which is EDP. There's this sign, the Lions Club, on the side, which is a really nice touch. Actually, the whole presentation is quite impressive. Once you open up once you remove that outer sleeve, you're greeted by the actual bottle. You have to open it up like this, and yes, inside you'll get a small plaque that contains a bit of a message from Armaf, which unfortunately fell down, and you use this ribbon thing to actually pull out the bottle itself. So the presentation on its own is actually really nice. But where the bigger problem for me actually lies, the problem with these fragrances, is when it comes to the actual bottle design. This is the way that the bottle looks. Now, shape-wise, it's a bit ugly, as you would expect from something from Armaf. But one thing I cannot stand is that this thing that's supposed to be probably a bottle cap or something like this. This actually looks like a belt. It's made out of, I guess, artificial leather. And on the end of it, you get a sort of a magnetic edge, a magnetic point. And inside here, there's a small hole where the actual magnet should get into. Now, first of all, this looks incredibly ugly, and although I've come to expect ugly designs from the brand of Armaf, this this brand new design just takes the cake for me personally. But that's nothing when you have to compare it with the usability of this so-called cap, because this is incredibly clumsy. First of all, this pointy end is very heavy, and it's very hard to actually spray the bottle, to use the sprayer. It's I mean, very user-friendly design, very ugly. And I have absolutely no idea why Armaf went with this design. But to be honest, that's the bad part about the fragrances. Everything else about the two fragrances is actually quite good. So let's talk about the scent of the green one, which is called Feroce or something like that. First of all, the sprayers aren't great. They are a bit inconsistent when it comes to the actual sprays, and they don't put a lot of fragrance out, so you have to probably adjust the number of sprays that you use. And next, let's talk about the scent. Now, this green one is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Haltane. In fact, all three fragrances from this line are cloning Parfum de Marly scents. And this smells a lot like Haltane. Now, when you first spray this one, in the first few seconds, there's a bit of an alcohol blast, which is to be expected from sort of an, cheap, a clone that's more on the cheaper or more on the affordable side. But the scent itself smells very similar to Haltane. The opening is aromatic, it's slightly fresh, but at the same time feels quite green, feels quite balsamic and very woody, with just a hint of sweetness. And then on the dry down, this will become a very woody. You will lose that freshness from the opening. It still remains quite balsamic. I've always found the original one to smell like that. It's very woody, maybe a bit earthy as well, with a hint of ambery sweetness. It's more on the mature side when it comes to the scent profile. I've never been a huge fan of Haltane personally, but this is actually a very nicely done clone or alternative of Haltane. Now, performance-wise, it's a good performer. It's not super strong, but definitely from my testing so far, this has lasted at least 7 hours on my skin, which is pretty decent in my opinion, and also tends to project, probably above average for the first hour and a half, maybe even up to 2 hours. As I said, the sprayer is not the best one in the world on both of them, so you have to adjust the number of sprays that you use. Price-wise, I personally paid for them roughly around about 30 euros. So they're not the most expensive clones in the world. They're not the most inexpensive clones in the world. But when it comes to the that ratio of quality, price, and performance, I definitely think that at the price of around about 30 euros, they're definitely a good buy, both of them. And versatility-wise, this is a masculine fragrance that's definitely more orientated towards the colder months of the year. And now let's talk about the other one, the one that comes in an orange box with sort of a golden design on the bottle. First of all, this is like an absolutely incredible fingerprint magnet. As soon as you touch the bottle, you'll leave a fingerprint, no matter how clean your hands are. The presentation is exactly the same, apart from the fact that the accent color here is orange. Everything else is exactly the same. You get the same thing included inside, so I'm not going to open it, so it falls off again just like the other one. And the bottle design again exactly the same, apart from the color combination. Now the good thing about the bottle on Feroce is the fact that this green part of the bottle is actually has this sort of a matte finish on it. So this is not a fingerprint magnet, but the orange one basically is absolute fingerprint magnet. Let me show you the sprayer of this one in action. Seriously, I mean, it's an absolutely idiotic idea to use something like that as a bottle cap. And this orange one smells a lot like Parfum de Marly's Altair. And it's actually very, very good. It smells very similar to Altair, smells of a very nice quality. Now, probably the opening of this one is the closest one to the original fragrance that I've tried from all the clones so far. Because the other great clone, the other really good clone of Altair is Liquid Broom from French Avenue, but that one opens up a little bit sharper than Altair because, to my nose, it has always had a stronger cinnamon note compared to what I get out of the original. And Armaf have actually done a better job because the cinnamon note is better blended with the other notes in the opening. It doesn't stick out as much as I get out of Liquid Broom. And this feels softer and closer to the original fragrance. So basically you get a hint of cardamom spiciness, you get lots of cinnamon, but in here it feels nice and soft and warm. You get a lot of vanillic sweetness, you get a bit of the orange blossom, and that's pretty much about the opening. And then the dry down becomes a sweet mix of still a lot of that cinnamon note with lots and lots of vanilla, benzoin maybe, with a bit of oud, maybe a bit of musk as well. But definitely, and also a hint of powderness from a tonka bean note, and definitely this smells of very nice quality and smells very, very similar to Altair. Actually, I was surprised at the good job that Armaf did with Lions Club Monarch. Performance-wise, this is a strong fragrance. In fact, it lasts longer than the green one. The projection is pretty equal on both of them. I get good projection the first hour and a half, maybe even up to 2 hours. But the total longevity here is better. I get at least 8 hours of performance out of it, maybe even 9 hours. And the interesting part about Monarch is the fact that the performance right out of the box is pretty similar to what I was getting from my bottle of Liquid Broom after a few months of maceration. So, if I have to guess, I will probably guess that Monarch will become even stronger with a bit of time. Keep in mind, I've had both of them for roughly about a week, so they're really brand new bottles at this point in time. So performance-wise, it's a good performing scent. Maybe Liquid Broom projects a little bit better because it's slightly sharper, slightly stronger cinnamon note in the opening. This feels a little bit softer, but definitely the total longevity is really nice straight out of the box. Price wise, again, pretty similar to the green one. I paid roughly around about 30 euros to get it, which I think is actually a very good deal, considering that I like this one even more than the green one. It feels very similar to the original fragrance and offers really nice quality and performance. And versatility wise, again, a masculine fragrance that maybe leans a little bit to the unisex side because of the amount of sweetness that it has, and this is definitely a fragrance that's more orientated towards the colder months of the year. And at the end of the video, just a few very quick words, final words about the two fragrances. Armaf have really seemed to step up their game when it comes to the new releases that they are doing. Quite a few of the new fragrances that I've tried over the past few months offer really nice quality, and I've been really pleasantly surprised by Armaf. And Lions Club Feroce and Lions Club Monarch make no difference, you know, they are really nice. If you're looking for a good inexpensive clone of Haltane with good quality, good performance, then definitely I think, you know, Feroce is worthy of being checked out. And I can finally say that Liquid Brune has an worthy opponent when it comes to the best clone of Parfum de Marly's Altair in the face of Monarch. It's really nice, smells very similar to the original fragrance, has this very nice, very soft, very nicely blended opening. The dry down is very similar, offers really good quality, very good performance, and all that for even a cheaper price compared to Liquid Brune. Even nowadays, after the hype has settled down a little bit on Liquid Brune, this still is probably a little bit cheaper than Liquid Brune. So definitely this is a contender for the best clone of Parfum de Marly's Altair. So guys, in today's video I talked about two of the brand new releases from Armaf, which are part of the Lions Club line of fragrances and are called Monarque and Feroce, and both of them are seriously impressive clone fragrances. I hope that you found this video interesting to watch. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.